Just a second, this isn't working. Okay, that's better. Hi, good morning. So this is for your geography notes today. Hopefully this works. I'm sorry we're not doing this in person. You can pause this video as needed to open up Notability, to find your notes, to do anything that you need to do, to take notes, to write notes. So right now, what I'd love for you to do is open Notability and find your 5 themes of geography notes. Hopefully it's in your PNW history class or under geography subject. But here's a little picture that kind of shows a little bit what it looks like right here. And then remember, we talked about the 5 themes of geography so far. Movement, right? How are we linked? How do we move people, products, and information? Okay. And regions. What region are we in, right? We talked about how some of us say we're in the Cascade Range and some say the Columbia Plateau. Both are kind of right because we're right on the line. Okay. And then we talked about human environment interactions. How do we adapt to our environment? How do we modify it, by creating dams for electricity or air conditioning? And how do we change it, right? Like irrigation, making the desert bloom. Okay. And then Friday, we talked about location, which is where is it? And we had absolute, which was like an exact address. You could find it on a map really easily, or relative, which kind of depended on where you're at and what your surroundings are. Okay. Today, we are going to talk about place. Okay. So you can pause right here. We have place. Make sure you get the title written down for place. The 2 things about place are physical characteristics and cultural characteristics. And the question we're asking is, what is it like? What is the place like? We're going to look at the physical characteristics to be able to answer that question. And we're going to look at cultural features to answer that question. So you can pause to make sure you get that written down and then hit continue when you're done. Okay, so for physical characteristics, these are natural to the environment. Okay, they were here before we got here. Okay, they might change a little bit over time, but all on their own. Okay, so when we're looking at physical characteristics, we're looking at landforms like mountains and hills and valleys and rivers. We're looking at volcanoes, even, right? Bodies of water could be a river or a lake or an ocean or a pond. And we're looking at different ecosystems, right? Do you live in a mountainous area or a desert? Do you live, on the coast by a beach? You're looking at different trees here. We have a lot of like Christmas tree type trees, with pine needles and trees that can handle dry weather and a hardy snow. Then you go different other places and they've got cactuses that can handle long periods of time without rain. And then you've got palm trees and stuff too in different areas, okay, in different ecosystems. So you're looking at those kind of things. What are the areas that describe where we're at? What kind of physical characteristics do we have, right? A lot of people go hiking or running, or we see Saddle Rock. That would be a physical characteristic, right? So we have the Columbia River, okay? So you can write those down. As always, I encourage you to doodle or bring in pictures to help your brain remember this information. You can pause it and then hit play when you're done. Okay, so continuing on with cultural characteristics. Okay, cultural characteristics are anything man-made. Okay, we brought it here. So that could be things like roads, buildings, parks, dams, bridges, any of that kind of stuff, right? Mission Ridge could be considered a cultural characteristic because we've put like as a ski area, right? Those mountains are a physical characteristic, but Mission Ridge and all of the chairlifts and things like that could be considered cultural characteristics. And it's a part of our culture in Wenatchee. A lot of people have connections there and they go there and they've gone there with their families and people travel here to go there. Um, you can see the picture. I put Witch Market here in town, right? Pybus Market. That's a cultural feature. It's our farmers market. It's where we have our local businesses and local artists and local chefs and restaurants. So that is a cultural characteristic of Wenatchee. It's a small part that defines some of us here. Okay. Now, cultural characteristics don't have to define everybody in one area, but they're things that we have connections to. I'd love if you can think of some and just jot them down right here. Jot some down in this summary area, jot some down below here of what you know that's here. Because when you go to do your 5 themes of geography and Wenatchee infographic, you're going to want to find those to put those in there for Wenatchee. Okay. Go ahead, you can pause to make sure you get those notes down, and then that's all I have for you. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys later. It's been a while since I've used this, so I'm trying to remember where all the buttons are.